Illinois real estate property ownership questions. Question 1. Riley receives $1,250 in earnest money and places it in a personal checking account for convenience. Which trust minus account problem is illustrated? Option A. Commingling client funds with personal funds. Option B. A lawful automatic conversion of escrow funds into commission. Option C. A required method for handling every earnest money deposit. Option D. A title defect that is cured by recording a deed. The correct answer is option A. Commingling client funds with personal funds. Client or customer funds such as earnest money must be handled through the appropriate special or trust account process. Putting the money into a personal checking account is commingling. It is not automatic commission, not the required method, and not a title minus recording issue. Question 2. A borrower asks about a FHA loan program during financing. Why might this appear on a licensing exam during Riley's Aurora Commercial Suite file review? Option A. Government loans never involve underwriting. Option B. Government minus related loan programs have eligibility, insurance, guarantee, or property minus condition features that differ from conventional loans. Option C. Government loans automatically waive all closing disclosures. Option D. Government loans transfer the seller's deed to the lender before closing. The correct answer is option B. Government minus related loan programs have eligibility, insurance, guarantee, or property minus condition features that differ from conventional loans. Government minus related financing may involve special eligibility, insurance, guarantee, or property standards. These loans still involve underwriting and disclosures, and they do not transfer the seller's deed to the lender before closing. Question 3. A property is worth $313,000 and has a loan balance of $66,000. Approximately how much equity does the owner have during Avery's Evanston Farm parcel file review? Option A. $379,000. Option B. $66,000. Option C. $247,000. Option D. $250,400. The correct answer is option C. $247,000. Equity is the property's value minus debt secured by the property, so $313,000 minus $66,000 equals $247,000. The distractors add debt, report the loan balance, or use an unsupported percentage of value. Stressed about your Illinois real estate exam? We can take Illinois real estate exam for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 4. A sponsoring broker is asked to produce special account records during a regulatory review. Which practice best supports compliance during Cameron's Oak Park single-family home file review? Option A. Deleting old deposit records once the closing occurs. Option B. Keeping records only in the salesperson's personal email. Option C. Combining all clients into one undocumented cash envelope. Option D. Maintaining complete transaction and trust minus account records that can be examined when required. The correct answer is option D. Maintaining complete transaction and trust minus account records that can be examined when required. Regulators may examine records to verify compliant handling of funds and transactions. Deleting records, relying only on a personal email, or using an undocumented cash envelope undermines record retention and auditability. Question 5. A buyer and seller sign a purchase contract with competent parties, lawful purpose, mutual assent, consideration, and a sufficient property description. Why is the contract likely enforceable during Drew's Decatur 2-flat building file review? Option A. It contains the core elements generally required for a valid real estate contract. Option B. It is enforceable only if recorded before closing. Option C. It becomes a deed immediately when signed. Option D. It is void unless the broker drafted every paragraph. The correct answer is option A. It contains the core elements generally required for a valid real estate contract. A valid contract generally requires competent parties, mutual agreement, consideration, lawful purpose, and adequate written terms for real estate. Recording is not required for contract validity. A contract is not the same as a deed, and broker drafting is not the element that makes the contract enforceable. Question 6. A buyer purchases for $375,000, makes a 30% down payment, and has $5,400 in closing costs. About how much cash is needed at closing before credits during Hayden's Elgin condominium unit file review? Option A, $112,500. Option B, $117,900. Option C, $5,400. Option D, $369,600. The correct answer is option B, $117,900. Cash needed combines the down payment and closing costs. 30% of $375,000 plus $5,400 equals $117,900. The other choices omit either the costs or the down payment, or subtract costs from the price incorrectly. Question 7. Sydney signs an property management agreement and later asks why the writing matters. Which answer best fits exam-tested brokerage agreement principles? Option A. A brokerage agreement eliminates all disclosure duties. Option B. Oral promises always replace signed terms. Option C. Written terms help define services, compensation, duration, and the parties' obligations. Option D. A brokerage agreement transfers legal title to the broker. The correct answer is option C. Written terms help define services, compensation, duration, and the parties' obligations. Brokerage agreements define key business terms and help avoid disputes about services and compensation. They do not eliminate disclosure duties. Oral promises generally do not automatically replace signed terms, and the agreement does not convey title to the broker. Question 8. A closing file includes a special warranty deed. Which distinction should an exam candidate focus on when comparing deed types? Option A. All deed types provide identical title warranties. Option B. A deed is the same document as a mortgage note. Option C. A deed never needs a grantor or grantee. Option D. The promises or warranties the grantor makes about title can differ by deed type. The correct answer is option D. The promises or warranties the grantor makes about title can differ by deed type. Different deeds can provide different levels of title assurance, depending on the grantor's warranties. A deed is not a mortgage note, and valid deed analysis involves parties such as grantor and grantee as well as delivery and acceptance. Are you looking for Illinois real estate exam actual questions? Visit our website pokerexams.com to access Illinois real estate exam study guide with actual questions and answers. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get Illinois real estate exam answer key today. Question 9. A rental property has NOI of $25,000 and a value estimate of $310,000. Approximately what capitalization rate is indicated during Alex's Galesburg mixed-use storefront file review? Option A, 8.1%. Option B, 4%. Option C, 11.1%. Option D, 12.4%. The correct answer is option A, 8.1%. The capitalization rate is NOI divided by value, so $25,000 divided by $310,000 is about 8.1%. The other answers have the rate, add unsupported points, or invert the formula. Question 10. A sponsored licensee uses the team name Lakefront Homes Team in advertising. Which compliance concern should be checked first during Blair's Moline vacant lot file review? Option A. Whether the team can operate without a sponsoring broker. Option B. Whether the team name and ad clearly avoid misleading consumers about the sponsoring brokerage. Option C. Whether the team name creates automatic title insurance. Option D. Whether the team may set commission rates with competitors. The correct answer is option B. Whether the team name and ad clearly avoid misleading consumers about the sponsoring brokerage. Team advertising must be clear enough that consumers are not misled about the brokerage relationship and sponsorship. A team does not replace the sponsoring broker, create title insurance, or justify antitrust violations. Question 11. Two owners are comparing tenancy by the entirety with other ownership forms. Which exam skill is being tested during Quincy rental duplex file review? Option A. Assuming all co-owners must have identical inheritance results. Option B. Treating a tenancy as a mortgage loan. Option C. Recognizing how ownership rights, survivorship, and transferability may differ by estate or tenancy. Option D. Using the ownership form to avoid all property taxes. The correct answer is option C. Recognizing how ownership rights, survivorship, and transferability may differ by estate or tenancy. Ownership forms can differ in survivorship rights, transferability, and the interests held by each party. They are not mortgage loans, do not guarantee identical inheritance outcomes, and do not eliminate property tax obligations. Question 12. A buyer obtains a loan of $192,500 on a property appraised at $250,000. Approximately what is the loan minus to minus value ratio during Sydney's Waukegan Lakefront Cottage file review? Option A, 23%. Option B, 87%. Option C, 62%. Option D, 77%. The correct answer is option D, 77%. Loan minus to minus value is calculated by dividing the loan amount by the appraised value, $192,500 divided by $250,000, or about 77%. The other percentages confuse equity with LTV or use an incorrect numerator or denominator. Question 13. A business offers to find apartments for renters in exchange for a fee. Why might Illinois licensing law be implicated during Logan's Belleville Suburban Ranch home file review? Option A. Rental minus finding services can involve regulated real estate activity when performed for compensation. Option B. Rental minus finding services are always exempt regardless of activity. Option C. Only sellers can trigger licensing law. Option D. The service becomes legal if no written records are kept. The correct answer is option A. Rental minus finding services can involve regulated real estate activity when performed for compensation. Rental minus finding and leasing minus related services may be regulated when performed for compensation. The activity is not automatically exempt, licensing law is not limited to sales, and failing to keep records does not cure an unlicensed activity issue. Question 14. Several brokerages in Peoria agree to charge the same commission rate so no firm competes on price. Which violation is most likely being tested? Option A. Valid comparative market analysis. Option B. Price fixing. Option C. Prioration. Option D. Easement by necessity. The correct answer is option B. Price fixing. An agreement among competitors to set commission rates is a classic price minus fixing concern under antitrust principles. A CMA estimates value, prioration divides expenses, and an easement by necessity concerns property access rather than broker competition. Question 15. A borrower pays 2 discount points on a $205,000 loan. How much do the points cost during Harper's Springfield farm parcel file review? Option A, $2,050. Option B, $5,100. Option C, $4,100. Option D, a different result not supported by the facts 3. The correct answer is option C, $4,100. 1 discount point equals 1% of the loan amount, so 2 points cost 2% of $205,000, or $4,100. The other figures use too few points, only 1 point, or add an unsupported amount. Question 16. A consumer asks why a state real estate recovery fund might exist. Which purpose is closest during Jamie's Peoria single-family home file review? Option A. Guaranteeing every buyer a profit on resale. Option B. Paying all ordinary home repairs after closing. Option C. Replacing the need for broker licensing. Option D. Providing a limited source of recovery for certain losses caused by licensee misconduct when statutory requirements are met. The correct answer is option D. Providing a limited source of recovery for certain losses caused by licensee misconduct when statutory requirements are met. Recovery funds are designed as limited consumer minus protection remedies for qualifying misconduct minus related losses. They do not guarantee investment profit, pay routine repairs, or replace licensing and discipline systems. Question 17. An appraiser values a new custom home with few comparable sales and limited rental data. Which approach may receive special attention? Option A, cost approach. Option B, income approach only. Option C, gross rent multiplier only. Option D, subdivision platting method. The correct answer is option A, cost approach. The cost approach is often useful for new or special minus-purpose properties when sales and income evidence are limited. The income approach and gross rent multiplier depend heavily on rental income, while subdivision platting is not a primary appraisal approach. Question 18. Rowan has completed high school and wants a first Illinois broker license after finishing coursework in Chicago. Which education path most directly satisfies the standard broker pre-minus license requirement? Option A, only a 15-hour leasing agent course. Option B, 60 hours of broker pre-minus license topics plus 15 hours of interactive applied real estate principles. Option C, 45 hours of managing broker education without broker coursework. Option D, a continuing education course completed after licensure. The correct answer is option B, 60 hours of broker pre-minus license topics plus 15 hours of interactive applied real estate principles. Illinois broker candidates in the standard path complete 75 class hours made up of 60 hours of broker topics and 15 hours of interactive applied principles. A leasing course is for residential leasing agents, managing broker education is a different license path, and continuing education applies after licensure rather than before the broker exam. Stressed about your Illinois real estate exam? We can take Illinois real estate exam for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 19. A property manager receives a residential tenant's security deposit from Taylor. How should the funds be treated for licensing minus exam purposes? Option A, spend it immediately as management profit. Option B, treat it as the broker's personal emergency fund. Option C, handle the deposit as money belonging to another party and account for it properly. Option D, refuse to keep any written record of the deposit. The correct answer is option C, handle the deposit as money belonging to another party and account for it properly. Security deposits are funds connected to the landlord minus tenant relationship and must be handled with proper accounting and legal care. Treating them as immediate profit, personal funds, or undocumented cash would create serious compliance issues. Question 20. Harper failed one portion of the Illinois broker licensing exam several times during the eligibility period. After the fourth unsuccessful attempt, what must happen before testing again? Option A, the candidate may immediately test an unlimited number of times. Option B, only the national portion must be retaken without additional education. Option C, the candidate automatically receives a leasing agent license. Option D, the candidate must retake the required broker pre-minus license education before retesting. The correct answer is option D. The candidate must retake the required broker pre-minus license education before retesting. Illinois exam rules allow broker candidates up to 4 attempts during the eligibility period. After a fourth failed attempt, the candidate must complete the required pre-minus license education again before retaking the examination. Unlimited attempts, partial automatic exemptions, and automatic licensure are not supported. Question 21. The same brokerage may work with both Hayden and Parker in one transaction. Why must dual or designated agency issues be handled carefully? Option A, they can affect consent, confidentiality, and the duties owed to each party. Option B, they automatically cancel every contract. Option C, they eliminate all broker duties. Option D, they require the buyer and seller to use the same attorney. The correct answer is option A. They can affect consent, confidentiality, and the duties owed to each party. Representing or assisting both sides can create consent and confidentiality issues that must be handled according to law and brokerage policy. It does not automatically cancel contracts, eliminate duties, or force the parties to share legal counsel. Question 22. Logan negotiates the sale of another person's rental duplex for a promised fee. Under Illinois licensing principles, why would this activity generally require a real estate license? Option A. It is allowed without a license if the property is residential. Option B. It involves brokerage activity for compensation on behalf of another person. Option C. It is exempt whenever the fee is paid after closing. Option D. It requires only a notary commission instead of a real estate license. The correct answer is option B. It involves brokerage activity for compensation on behalf of another person. Negotiating real estate transactions for another person for compensation is a core licensed brokerage activity. Residential status, delayed payment, or holding an unrelated notary commission does not remove the need for the proper real estate license. Question 23. A driveway crosses one parcel so a neighboring parcel can reach the road. Which property concept is most likely involved during Avery's Evanston rental duplex file review? Option A. Fixture. Option B. Novation. Option C. Easement. Option D. Defeasance clause. The correct answer is option C. Easement. An easement gives a right to use another's land for a specific purpose, such as access. A fixture is attached property, novation substitutes a contract party or obligation, and a defeasance clause relates to mortgage satisfaction. Question 24. Sydney wants to pay a sponsored Illinois licensee, Quinn, directly for help with a purchase. How should compensation normally be handled during Cameron's Oak Park Lakefront Cottage file review? Option A. The buyer may pay the licensee directly at any time. Option B. The title company must split the fee directly with the licensee. Option C. The licensee may accept a secret bonus if the transaction closes. Option D. The sponsored licensee should receive compensation through the sponsoring broker. The correct answer is option D. The sponsored licensee should receive compensation through the sponsoring broker. A sponsored licensee is normally compensated through the sponsoring broker rather than directly by the public. Direct payment, title minus company fee splitting outside the broker relationship, and secret bonuses create licensing, disclosure, and compensation problems. Question 25. A homeowner challenges the assessed value used for property taxes. Which concept is being examined during Drew's Decatur Suburban Ranch Home File Review? Option A. Assessment and property tax valuation process. Option B. Agency termination by death. Option C. A leasehold surrender. Option D. Escrow disbursement only. The correct answer is option A. Assessment and property tax valuation process. Property tax questions often focus on assessed value, tax rates, exemptions, and appeal procedures. Agency termination, lease surrender, and escrow disbursement are separate real estate topics.